There's no doubt that the European elections today are an opportunity for people to have their say on Brexit. And in Scotland, a country that voted overwhelmingly to remain in the EU, it's an opportunity to send a message by voting SNP that Scotland is not for Brexit, Scotland is for Europe, and we want to remain at the heart of Europe. Well, I don't think there's any doubt that Theresa May has reached the end of the road as Prime Minister, but the person likely to come after Theresa May, whether that is Boris Johnson or Dominic Raab or Michael Gove, is going to be a harder Brexiteer, and that really should underline the importance of people in Scotland today sending a strong message that Scotland doesn't want Brexit, and Scotland is fed up being ignored by Westminster. So we have that opportunity today to send that message loudly and clearly. Well, Scotland has been completely ignored over the 3 years since the European referendum. The votes of the Scottish Parliament have been disregarded, efforts at compromise by the Scottish Government have been cast aside, and Scotland's voice has been silenced by Westminster. So now is the time to make our voice heard, and I think the experience of Brexit for many people in Scotland and the prospect of a hard Brexiteer as Prime Minister make people see the benefits of being independent in Europe. We've seen the power of small independent countries like Ireland over the past couple of years. Scotland can have that power and influence over our own future too if we choose to be an independent member of Europe.
First Minister.
Despite what anybody may say, and there may be other issues, but Brexit will be at the heart of this vote today, and people, I think, have to go out and vote will be voting either for the Brexit parties or for Remain. But also, I think as well, it's really important to send a strong message against voting against the fascist groups that are coming up now, and the alt-right groups that are beginning to show, unfortunately, in our country as we're divided at the moment. So it's really critical, I think, people vote to give a strong voice against that.
It's a very important election because, despite the Brexit process, the chances are that Brexit may not actually take place, and therefore we are voting for people who are going to represent us in Europe for the next at least 4 or 5 years to come. And therefore it's important that people vote with that in mind, that they'll be stuck. Things are on. Not every party is represented here. You know, we have Labour.
I think Scotland in particular is quite a European, it's more European than England, and I think in some ways England has always been a lot more hostile to the idea of Europe, and we're being pulled kind of into something that we don't really want.